Bon Viveur by NAUGHTON and Wilson, because life is meant to be enjoyed.
I don't care if Monday's blue, Tuesday's grey and Wednesday too. On Thursday I smoke drugs on the loo. It's Friday, I'm in love. Monday you can fall apart. Tuesday, Wednesday I forge modern art. On Thursday I took my toaster apart. It's Friday, I'm in love. Saturday, wait. On Sunday I broke my dad's front gate. On Friday I sold all my mum's dinner plates. I don't care if Monday's black. Tuesday, Wednesday smoking crack. Thursday I smashed up a railway track. It's Friday, I'm in love. Monday you can hold your head. Tuesday, Wednesday smoke meth instead. On Thursday I blew up my neighbour's shed. It's Friday, I'm in love.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So today let's try that again. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So in today's video we're going to have a look at a category of fragrances that I think is one of the best, one of my favourites out there. And this is the citrus masculine fragrance. It could be called a citrus aromatic, but I think we're going for something very specific here that I think is a fresh, masculine, classic style fragrance that is extremely versatile, not really season specific, not really an out and out citrus eau de cologne a la 4711 Neroli Portofino, but the masculine citrus scented, maybe citrus woody type fragrance, of which perhaps Dior's Eau Sauvage, which we'll feature, is one of the seminal examples. So let's flip the camera angle and get into the list. Okay guys, welcome back. So today we're going to have a look at some fantastic fresh citrus fragrances. It's a category of fragrance that I really love. I know people are aware of my love of aromatic fougères, but the other ones I really love are often these citrus accented, fresh, masculine, all-rounder type fragrances. That's very much what we've gone for with our own release here, the new release from Naughton and Wilson, Bon Viveur. And we were going for a fresh citrus aromatic or citrus stroke chypre fragrance with an optimistic sense of joie de vivre, and I think we've massively achieved that. Thank you so much to perfumer John Stephen. We have an exciting pre-order campaign going at the moment, overwhelming response for that one. Thank you so much to everyone who's ordered already, and you can find out about that by following the link in the description. Special offer prices, amazingly good deals I think, and it will go up in price a bit after the pre-order campaign. You can get 2 bottles for special prices. We've made 500 and shipped 300 to the USA, and we're actually well over halfway through all of those being ordered. So if you are in the States or even elsewhere, you may want to hurry up because we may sell out before the end of the pre-order campaign. More are being made, but there may be a slight gap in availability, so watch out guys. This fragrance really has been inspired by many of the ones that I'm going to talk about in today's list, but of course it's so much more. It's not a copy, it's unique. But it definitely takes its cues from some of the great classic aromatic citrus type fragrances of the late 20th century, which are a huge thing for me. Perfumer John Stephen talked to me a lot about it. We didn't ask him to copy anything, but he's added his own magic to this one. I'll just give you the note listing for Bon Viveur and the details of the pre-order, and then we'll get into these other fragrances. The top notes are lime, lemon, orange, mandarin, bay, basil and lemongrass. In the mid we have British gin, clove, pepper and watermelon. And the base notes are cedar, patchouli, oak moss and Haitian vetiver. Okay, so the special pre-order price for Bon Viveur in the USA, $120 including shipping. In the UK, that's £80 including shipping. In Canada, it's $130 and in Europe, it's a cost of 100 British pounds. All those prices include the shipping. If you want to buy 2 bottles of Bon Viveur, you're looking at $220 or £150 in the UK. In Canada, that's going to be $230 and it's 170 British pounds if you are in Europe. That is including shipping. Or that same offer applies if you want to get 1 bottle of Bon Viveur and 1 bottle of Gravitas Pour Homme, or even 2 bottles of Gravitas Pour Homme. If you're in the EU or Canada, there is a shipping fee which you actually add on at the checkout, but the bottom line is it will come out at the prices I've just listed there. Don't ask me why that is. Something to do with the website. Anyway, apologies for any confusion. Okay, guys, so let's get stuck into some of these other classic citrus accented fragrances. I think this is a fascinating and wonderful underrated category. I consider these all to be all year round fragrances, and that's what we're certainly thinking of with Bon Viveur as well. It's a fresh fragrance, but we think there's enough going on here that it stands up all year round, and that applies to all of these fragrances too. Let's kick off with this one, Dior's classic Eau Sauvage. And this one first came out, of course, in 1966. Edmund Rudnitzer, wonderful name, was the perfumer for this one. Fantastic citrus opening, bergamot, lemon, all the kind of usual suspects there in the citrus opening of the scent. Beautiful vetiver in the base and white musks. There's real oak moss, of course, in this one, in a proportion if you get the vintage bottle that you can't actually use nowadays. But there is still real oak moss usable in fragrances, just in small doses. In fact, perfumer John Stephen told me in Bon Viveur we do have real oak moss, and it has a good scent yield, he says. So even though he's very restricted in how much he can use, it has a big impact in a positive way on the smell, and that's very much the case with some of these old classics too, but they could use a little bit more back then. Eau Sauvage, lovely vetiver, and this jasmine and stroke hedione note, and hedione is an ingredient that I think this is one of the first fragrances to use it heavily. I think it's derived from jasmine, and apparently it has this kind of chemical effect on people that's rather attractive to either members of the opposite sex or just people in general. It has a subliminal effect on the brain, which can hardly be a bad thing in a fragrance. So this one, it's beautiful, it's fresh, it's invigorating, it's a little bit musky, it's a little bit mossy and green and bitter at the same time. It's perfectly balanced. It was sort of the Creed Aventus of its day, a perfect, huge selling, all-round scent, amazing bottle design, and one that will forever have a place, I think, in my affections. Let's move on then. I'm going to zip back in time a little bit actually from that one with Pour Monsieur. Someone's going to complain about my pronunciation. Never mind, I can't do French pronunciation that well, and I'm sorry. I'm going to just adjust the angle a little bit there so we can actually see the whole thing. So Pour Monsieur, 1955 release. And I think, was it Guy Robert who was the perfumer? This one is classed as a chypre, but I think it's definitely a citrus accented chypre. It's very fresh. The green, light green coloured juice gives you a good idea how it smells. Again, there's a nice oak moss accord in the scent, and it has this beautiful citrusy opening. It's also got a certain spiciness about it. Lovely lavender and Chanel's famous floral tones, giving it this fantastic gentlemanly air. Really, really refined and classic smelling. A little bit spicy, a little bit complex actually, but also fresh and affable and very versatile. So for me, an absolute 10 out of 10 stunner. Chanel Pour Monsieur, always happy to have it in the collection. Performance has never been great, whether you have vintage or modern versions, but just buy often and spray heavy and you'll be fine. Spray regularly. The modern version's still absolutely great in my humble opinion. I think Chanel rarely mess up their fragrances when they reformulate, but you can discuss in the comments below. Next up, it had to be in the list, Armani Eau Pour Homme, 1984, absolute classic citrus aromatic fragrance, the first release from the house of Armani, and it's a theme here because I think all of the designer scents in this list were the first release from that house for men. It's a great place to start, a superb, fresh but masculine smell, and Armani really achieved that with this release. Again, exquisite, really unique. I mean, the notes sometimes are the same in the opening, the bergamot, the lemon, maybe the mandarin. I think this has mandarin in it. But they all have their own unique way of combining those notes and blending them with the other stuff. Beautiful aromatic green leafy notes as well in this one. A lot of patchouli, or a significant dose of patchouli in the base, giving it a certain ruggedness, which I think really, really works well, but a refined Italian kind of air of chic about this one that I really, really enjoy. And you can buy the modern version, which is absolutely fine, this one with the black bottle lid and bottom there. It means it's the older vintage formula. Maybe there's a bit more oak moss, but I think that the modern version absolutely stands up as excellent, and I kind of wish I had that too. I wouldn't mind, if I just had that instead of this, I'd be still happy. Armani Eau Pour Homme, if you want something really sophisticated, Italian chic, Mediterranean chic, that sense of optimism and happiness I think you get with this fragrance that I really, really enjoy. And that we went for that, of course, with Bon Viveur, and that's why we went with the name Bon Viveur. That means someone who is a good liver. I probably don't have a very good liver now after many years of enjoying life to the full. But yeah, you know what I mean. It's someone who enjoys the finer things in life. And that's what we went for. And of course, and would therefore have a kind of optimistic, happy theme about the fragrance. And we wanted that because everybody's hopefully now coming out of the lockdowns, looking forward to perhaps a brighter future and an enjoyment of life that we've been deprived of, many of us, for the last year or so. And Bon Viveur would be the perfect fragrance for that. But yes, I admit it, so too would Armani's Eau Pour Homme, which is also sensational. Okay, let's move on. We're going to go with, let's see, Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme. Much talked about, and if you've never experienced the vintage, it's worth trying to track one down. The modern version's still good, I think, but if you can buy the old version with the sticker, that's the Euro Italian made in Italy version, it is superior. This one, again, the citrus melange is there with the mandarin, I think, in the opening, along with bergamot and lemon. Some lovely kind of aromatics in the mid, some green leafy tones, a nice bit of vetiver in the base, a white musky clean thing in there too, and this very important twist of a tobacco note. It was a 1994 release, the first one from Dolce & Gabbana for men. The fashion house, I should say, actually was founded in 85, and it wasn't until 94 they gave us this bright, breezy, complex, exquisitely refined fragrance. It's no coincidence that Max Forti, a great reviewer, had this as his signature scent for many years and regards it as one of his true favourites, and he's a great judge and he likes the old classics like me. This is absolutely exquisite stuff. It really has that air of being on holiday, going out in a nice shirt after a day in the sun and in the Mediterranean, or if you're over in the States, in wherever you guys go for your holidays, really a good weather, optimistic, happy, daytime or nighttime fragrance. It's almost too good to spray every day to work, but it would be a great choice for that too. And yeah, that sense of optimism is what I love in citrusy, fresh fragrances. I love fougères, but sometimes they can be a little serious and stern, can't they? I think, maybe. We have one more in the designer category, and that's YSL Pour Homme, 1971. You could say a lot of the same things about this one that I would say about Armani's Eau Pour Homme. It's got this citrusly, beautiful citrus opening, lovely woody tones in the base, aromatics are there. Again, there's a nice bit of patchouli, and even a hint of this rugged animalic thing that perhaps paved the way or hinted at what was to come many years later with Koros from the same brand. A little bit of that funk. So watch out, perhaps the most rugged of the bunch. I've got an old bottle here. You can pick up a more modern one in a cube bottle. I think that's even discontinued. It will bring a smile to your face if you like this kind of fragrance. And there's a slightly old-fashioned air about some of these. But to me, it's very much a nice, nostalgic air, rather than anything dated or that would make people think you're not up with the times, I think. But it's very much a matter of taste, but I always go for timeless classic rather than, oh, that smells like my uncle. But I think this one falls into the timeless classic category. It's a bit like a classic design. I just recently was very, very fortunate to get my first serious watch, I guess, maybe. Well, I've got a few other nice ones, but this is the most expensive. It's a Rolex Datejust. Just a beautiful watch. It's from 1963, this one. I don't know if you can see the lovely linen dial effect there. And of course, many, many years old, but that style, that classic, brilliant design with the bracelet and everything there, that never goes out of fashion to me. And these fragrances are a bit like that. They're absolutely timeless classics. And again, that theme of luxury, I've got the bottle there, the champagne. Actually, I probably don't drink champagne out of choice very often. It's more likely to be beer or wine. But that sense of luxury, of enjoying life to the full, I think is what we can get with these fragrances, even though most of them are relatively affordable. And we wanted that with Bon Viveur as well, that sense of enjoy life to the full. Life is meant to be enjoyed, as our fragrance says. And you know, don't hold back. I got myself a Rolex. I thought I'd never be able to justify spending that much. Well, to have a little bit of fantastic luxury, a lot of these fragrances are affordable, and indeed our Bon Viveur is accessible to the average person price-wise, very much so. Here's one a little bit more expensive, but still really good. We'll just do a couple of niche ones. Really underrated gem from Creed, Royal Water. Lovely twist of mint in this one. Very green and leafy tones, and just a really, really underrated, exquisite citrus aromatic fragrance. Very, very versatile. And check it out if you've not tried that one. A lot of people haven't actually. Fiero from Xerjoff, the Casamarati line from Xerjoff. Fantastic. Similar actually to Eau Sauvage. A little twist of mint though as well, and maybe their homage to the original Eau Sauvage. Really, really nice performance on that one too. Performance on Bon Viveur, I feel, is really, really good for a citrus-centric fragrance, and there's enough other stuff going on that beefs up the performance. But of course, I'm kind of biased, so you'll have to judge for myself. But I'm really happy with performance on that one, and Fiero is another one of those good performing citrus aromatic type scents. And now here, yeah, if you're interested, why did we pick this blue colour on Bon Viveur? I was inspired a little bit by the Acqua di Parma Blue Mediterraneo line, which have really nice bottles. Ginepro di Sardinia is a fantastic one that I feel is just a great all-rounder. Not just a lemony smell, not just an orangey smell, not just an eau de cologne type smell like some of theirs, not like, you know, a Neroli Portofino type vibe where it's just soapy and citrusy. It's got so much going on, and it's got this Ginepro thing, the note which is used to flavour gin, and I love that juniper. That's what that means, by the way, the Italian word Ginepro. The juniper note is a really nice thing. Now, we've got this gin and tonic accord in our fragrance too, to symbolise that thing of having a good time. So Ginepro di Sardinia, check it out if you haven't. Underrated gem. Discontinued again. What are they doing? Guys, stop discontinuing the good fragrances. One of my most prestigious fragrances I've bought then, Roger Parfum Scandal Parfum Pour Homme. Again, I think Roger the Dodger was influenced a bit by Eau Sauvage from Dior, and I'm only kidding calling him that. I think his house actually have some really, really good fragrances, but they are a tad bit expensive. I do like the fancy bottle, and this one again, exquisite citrus tones, really, really complex stuff going on, and amazing longevity on that one. For fans of Eau Sauvage, there's a broad similarity, but a bit of the Roger Parfum's magic in it as well. Really, really great stuff. So, whoops. Guys, let me know what you thought of my list of fragrances. I think these are all absolute stunners. Don't forget to head on over to Naughton & Wilson. Don't miss out on your chance to get the pre-order special offers on Bon Viveur, a fragrance all about the enjoyment of the finer things in life. And we've had some fine, fine fragrances in today's video. Thanks ever so much for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. Remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project.
Bon Viveur by NAUGHTON & Wilson, because life is meant to be enjoyed.